interpretation and all the ramifications of that. And we'll play each phrase or whatever, and then we'll decide why we're phrasing things or whatever. Because in here, from the last rehearsal, we don't play anything without phrasing. I mean, we just don't do that, or interpretation. Somebody might say, when do you play espressivo? And of course, my view, espressivo is in every piece of music. It's all over the music. So this will be more of an explanation of that. And then, as usual, there are a few other things that I'll want to point out as we go on. Using the words to the tunes is a little tricky because most of the tunes have been altered, at least rhythmically, and in a lot of cases they're melodically, not drastically altered. But that. So right away, the first tune that we hear in the whole piece has been altered rhythmically, which is fine. So that sort of gets us away from saying that we have to lean on the words to figure out what we're going to do. But then there's the second movement, which is a totally different game. So we'll start the way we did and read through the first phrase, okay? So where is this phrase peeking out? Here, anybody have a clue or want to just give us an idea maybe? Naturally, I'll tell you. Okay, we're going for the F. And it's the highest pitch, not because it's the highest pitch, but that's what's going to end up. The most important, not most important notes, but if you notice the 16th notes are all important, okay? I'd really like us to have more of a bounce when we hit B, okay? So we arrive in whatever bar that is, and that would be, I'm not sure, is it 6, 7, whatever the bounces are? Yeah, then we did that, but let's make sure, let's bounce a little lighter with a little more of this. The other thing is that by the time you get to the 18th bar, we've had about every volume there is. If you look at your parts, you've got pianissimo, piano, mezzo forte, forte, and fortissimo. So we want to display that a little more, okay? Having said that, when we arrive at 18, we're really not going to play fortissimo individually. I mean, that's part of the game. So we want to open up what I call a dynamic spectrum in every performance. What's the most forceful sound, what's the softest sound, and the more you stretch that out, the more interesting it is for everybody else. So if we can do a drastic diminuendo so we can play extremely light playing the first phrase of the tune, that would be terrific. So let's start this again and see how soft we can play the beginning of the phrase, all right? You could phrase up like that. I would prefer that we phrase back a little. Beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, bop, like so, okay? I mean, you follow the contour of the notes, and that's a good way to phrase sometimes. In other words, you can give a little more sound as the melody goes up in pitch and a little less. That's an okay way to start, but you don't have to do that all the time. I would prefer that we phrase back at the end of the phrase. Everybody understand how that's going to work? Let's start right in the pick up to the 5th bar then. Is it possible to play softer? Okay. Yeah, if it is. Yeah, I prefer that so we have more of a subito mezzo forte. Bop, bop, beep, bop, up, bop, bop. And you notice what we're doing in the following 16th notes is what? Thicker. Ya-da-da-da-da. Okay? Great. So that's how that first phrase is going to land here, right? Once again, that was much better. If you can play softer, fine. Are we on the edge of not sounding well? Then we'll stay where we were. That's it. phrasing in the fortissimo section, and if you want to mark that, that's okay. We're still going to go for the F, if you notice, but when we play the figure after that, ba-dum-bop-bop, and all that, that's going to be more rather than less. So we change that, and that's in, if you want to make any changes on that at all. Is anybody really playing fortissimo then at 18? And the answer, of course, is no. Is it fortissimo? Sure is in this piece, isn't it? All right, 18 again, guys. Pick up 2. Right, and that's fine, okay? And someone hearing this might say, I can't hear the clarinet very well. Good, because that sound is in there, okay? Now, when the flute solo comes in an octave higher, you don't have to be too soft to play that, I mean, if you'd like, okay? Yeah, let's play, I have to get the numbers straight here. 31, I'd like to hear the people playing the accompaniment, if we could do that. This is in the euphonium and the horns and the clarinets, okay, guys? You know what that is? But it's 2 before the double bar, right? And yeah, what I prefer to hear is more of Jack, even though you're playing slurs. So you play back, you go ahead and lead, if you would, and more okay? It's a very subtle thing to do, but it's more interesting. And what I'm going to ask the clarinets to do, and you're playing very musically, and that would be okay for a lot of people. I prefer we hear more dee-da, 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 just a little, okay? Because we've got this going very cantabile, so it'd be really nice to hear the rhythm that's behind that. Once more. Good, that's fine, guys. Good for you, right? And my view is that, as a listener, that will have an impact on what he's doing there because of the incredible difference there. Okay, guys? Again, somebody else might stand here and say, play it legato, and they're just as right as I am, right? I mean, that's the way life works there. If I was listening to that and they did that with conviction, I think, well, that's interesting too. Okay, so that's okay. All right, let's play right there, everybody. 2 before the double bar. That's okay too. My own ear says I'd like to hear the octave F. Dee-da-dee-ah. Okay? Not kind of a sort of a portamento that would happen there. Okay? Great. One morning in the month of May, how lovely shone the sun. Month of May. So I'm after that. So we're going to promote May here. Okay? Great. Same place, 2 before.